Hello and welcome to an all-new episode of UMass Sports Weekly. I'm your host, Chris Corso. Let's get right into it and roll that tape. The men's lacrosse team finally returned to Garber on Saturday, and it looks like they had some success. The men and women's softball team has been on fire as of late at Sortino Field. And then we'll check in on Coach Whipple and the UMass football team after the annual spring game this weekend. And then we'll have a special guest right here in the studio from your men's lacrosse team. So stay tuned to see who that is. We'll be right back with all this and more. This is UMass Sports Weekly.
This is UMass Sports Weekly.
Well, the men's lacrosse team hosted Drexel in the first game of the year at Garber Field on Saturday afternoon. Liam Byrne was at the game with the coverage.
As the intimidating Minutemen walk out onto Garber Field for the first time this season, they prepare to square up against the Drexel Dragons, UMass seeking their fourth win of the season and second conference win. There's Brendan Haggerty. He had a monster game, but we will get to him later. Right out of the gate, future MLL player Ryan Izzo sprints up the field to put it in for UMass as they draw first blood 1-0. Here's Andrew Sokol, gets the pass and dumps it down to the big man, Brendan Haggerty, for his 14th of the season. He would end up with a hat trick in this one. After two quick goals, the Dragons would respond, bouncing the goal from number 13, Ryan Belka. During halftime, I caught up with new UMass athletic director Ryan Banford on his thoughts on the next half.
All right, so you got the next half of this game. What do you think's going to win?
Well, listen, if we play another half like we did in the first half, I think we're going to be in good shape. We got to cut down on some turnovers and execute and finish some plays in front of the goal, in front of the cage, and see if we can get a win. This would be a nice conference win for us.
Let's see if UMass grants Ryan Bamford's wish. Nick Mariano does just that by showing his athleticism as he falls to the turf, converting his 20th goal of the season. The score is now 7-4 UMass. Here's one that would make the top 10 as Drexel's Nick Saputo makes a pretty behind-the-back pass to defenseman Marco Nelson as he converts for the Dragons. That would be as much as the Dragons would get, as Dan Muller, who nails it from three-point land, making the goalie duck for dear life. And Muller again would continue to upset Drexel's crowd as he lays out for his third of the game and 13th of the season. The Minutemen would give some more contribution as another spectacular goal by them as Grant Whiteway drifts away from the goal and manages to sneak it past the goaltender as he scores his second of the game. That would do it for the Minutemen, beating Drexel 12-9 for the homecoming to Garber Field. UMass will take on Delaware Friday night at Garber Field starting at 7 o'clock. I'm Liam Byrne, and this is UMass Sports Weekly.
Welcome back to the set for the men's lacrosse segment, and I'm here with our men's lacrosse expert, and that's Liam Byrne. And look who it is, it's our senior midfielder of your Minutemen, and that's Brandon Schroeder. Welcome to the set, Brendan.
Thanks for having me.
Brendan's a buddy of mine from back in the day in middle school in Long Island, so it's good to have him here on the set. One thing we didn't see in that video, for some reason it wasn't in there, but it's all good, Liam.
I apologize.
Brendan, you scored a goal in that game, and obviously this is a great win for you guys heading into the last game of the season. So tell me a little bit about the game and what it was like to score a goal.
Right, just watching those clips back, I kind of got chills watching it. It was great to be back on Garber Field. Played all year on McGurk, which is kind of tough for us. They scraped up the field a little bit on Garber, but being back there, all the tradition, all the rich history, it was a great feeling, and Drexel's a great team, so it was a really good victory for us, CAA win.
And it had to feel great to score that goal in that first game of the season at Garber. Right?
Yeah, it felt good. It felt good, but it's not about individuals, it's about the whole team, and coaches got us ready, and it's a great win.
Of course. Now, Liam, you noted that there was another accomplishment in this game for the Minutemen. Can you tell us what that was?
Yeah, there was. Coach Canella had his 300th win, his 21st season as head coach. He's been here for over 30 years as a player and a coach, and he's quoted saying that it's a lot of games. When I was told that, I just shook my head. It's a lot. So, you know, he was excited about it, and obviously it's a lot of games. So yeah, it's a great accomplishment for Coach, especially you being a part of it and your whole team being a part of it as well.
Absolutely. Coach Canal's been very a huge part of the UMass Lacrosse history here, being here for over 20 years. So it was great to get Coach that win. He didn't even mention it to us, so it just shows the character of him, and he didn't even bring it up. It's not about him, it's about the team.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Brendan, the audience just saw that highlight tape that Liam put together. Who do you feel really led you guys in this game? Was there any one player that you could point out? Or?
If I was pointing out one player, I'd say probably Dan Muller in the midfield really had a nice game, but it wasn't just about him. It was about everyone. You know, the defense really stepped up. Zach Oliveri and Ned had a great game. Our attack, Gianni, he's a midfielder, moved down to attack for us. Jake Lasauskas didn't really get much playing time during the year, stepped up during the game. It was a great team effort.
Liam, who would you note in that game who really led the team, and did you see any problems that were fixed from the past going in?
I did, yeah. Well, Brendan really mentioned everyone that I was going to say except for Grant Whiteway and Brendan Hagerty. They both had great games. Hagerty had a hat trick. Whiteway had 2 goals himself. But the problems that I saw that were fixed were defense, especially. Defense really stepped up in this game. Ryan Izzo with 3 ground balls, Austin Spencer with 5 ground balls. And they really put out a full effort through this one. You know, Coach Cannella mentioned how the effort in all the games before hasn't really been throughout the whole game. So in this game, they really showed it, as well as offensive balance that hasn't been going on for the whole season, really. So, a good amount of players each got their time in for goals as far as that goes. And it was the first time they scored double digits in 4 games, and that was they haven't scored double digits since their win against Penn State, Chris.
Well, now we got Delaware on the schedule for the last game of the season, Brendan. Obviously, this is your senior night, and you're looking forward to that, of course. So tell us what we can expect in that game, and if what we can expect going forward in the playoffs, if you guys think you can get there, which I think you can.
Yeah, obviously, if we win, we're in the playoffs. But we always say 1 game at a time. Your next game is the next biggest game. So Drexel, we were in the same position last year. They ended our season. We lost to them, so definitely have that in the back of our minds. But so far this week, we're preparing well. Coaches have a good game plan in, and we'll get after it the next couple of days. And then, obviously, for us seniors, last game on Garber, it's going to be pretty special.
Yeah, of course, I can imagine. Liam, what do you got to add in? What do you expect to see from Brendan and the team going forward?
Yeah, well, I think they have a great opportunity to be in the CAA semifinals. They'll hopefully end up getting into that fourth seed there. They're tied for 3rd right now in the CAA. So, the semifinals, if they do make it, will be on April 30th. And if they make the 4 seed, they'll play the 1 seed. And they make the 3 seed, they'll make the 2 seed. So I'm a hopeful guy, as we
all are.
As we all are, exactly.
So
UMass Lacrosse, I'm hoping for a CAA championship and hopefully a advance in the NCAA tournament.
To wrap it up real quick, I'm going to throw a curveball at you. What was your highlight of your career here at UMass, looking back at it? You got 1 game left here in Amherst, and what was the highlight of your career?
Highlight of my career? I think it was probably last year. I had my whole family here. My brother is in the Navy, so he came from Guam with his wife and my niece, and I actually got to.
Guam, or was that?
Actual Guam.
Actual Guam.
22-hour flight. Yeah. So they came and we didn't win, but I personally got to score a goal. So for me personally, that was my highlight of my career.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming on the set.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, anytime. And we'll be right back, and we'll be talking UMass baseball. So stay tuned.
Last Friday, students gathered outside McGurk Stadium to tailgate before the annual spring football game, listening to music and enjoying each other's company. Meanwhile, inside the stadium, Blake Fernapple was giving little kids a lesson on the 3-step drop. This is what he had to say when asked about success next season.
I think for us, whatever it takes to win a conference championship, for all of us, we want to win every game we play.
Just like that, it was time for some football. This time, however, it was a battle of the teammates and the battle of red and white. After receiving the opening kickoff, Team Minutemen drove down the field and gained a 3-point lead on a 24-yard field goal by Blake Lucas on a drive that took almost the entire quarter. Then, after going for it on 4th down, Austin Whipple was shut down by Shane Huber as he picked the ball off, giving Team Minutemen the ball back. Logan Laurent, however, would tie the game up with a 40-yard field goal just as time expired, making the score 3-3 at halftime. Bad news for Team UMass, however, as Shadrach Brookwell was carried off after hurting his ankle. However, Austin Whipple's passing game showed up as he threw the first touchdown pass of the game, giving Team UMass their first lead, 10-3. After spring enrollee Randall West tied it up with a touchdown pass of his own, Logan Laurent hit a 31-yard field goal as time expired to give Team UMass the 13-10 win. I'm Xander Manning, and this is UMass Sports Weekly.